Alright techies, this is episode 12 of my Java Discord bot tutorial series, and in this episode we're going to be finishing off the music bot that we started last time. So last time we created some Lavaplayer classes that allow us to play music with this play command. So if you don't have that already, go and watch that last video because we're going to be building off of that in this one. We're just going to be creating some simple commands that are very useful when using this, because obviously if we just play it, you might accidentally create a song that you don't want to have in it, and you're going to want to be able to skip, or you might want to stop, you want to see what's playing and all this stuff. So these are the commands we're going to be making, the ones in green. I've added these for, and I've just created a base command. So we have skip, we have stop, we have now playing, we have cue, and we have repeat. I've also registered these in the main class, and these don't actually have any options. There's no need, it's just a simple command that displays stuff, so we don't need to add any options. So we might as well get straight to it. So first one we're going to do is skip. So skip will obviously skip the current song, that's pretty obvious. So the few things we need to do, the few checks we need to make, some of them can be copied from the play command. I'm going to copy this, so this is the checking to see if the member's in an audio channel. We also need to make sure that the self is in an audio channel, so if self voice state in audio channel is not in an audio channel, then again that's not going to work. In channel. And the last one is they need to make sure that we're in the same channel. So if self voice state dot get channel does not equal member voice state dot get channel, then event dot reply are we not in the same channel as me. Let me just make sure we queue that and return. So these checks are probably going to be carried out by all of the commands because we need to be in the same channel as them. Once we've done that, we can actually get started on writing the functionality for this command. So we first need to get the guild music manager for which guild this command was running. So this is going to equal to player manager dot get guild music manager with the guilds in the event. And then very simply, we can get the track scheduler and get the player inside it and just call stop track. This will stop the current track, and then it will trigger the method that which is this event on track end, which we set to just start the next track. So hopefully if we have multiple in the queue, it will go on to the next one, and if we don't, it will just stop. So if I join a voice channel, we should see that if I play something and then call /skip, I haven't started the bot. So again, once the bot started, if we play something and call /skip while it's playing, you see it stopped. We haven't actually set reply. We need to event.reply skipped. Obviously, if you don't reply, it's going to look like it's caused an error. So that's the skip command working, very simple. So next we have the stop command. This is a bit different because this is going to stop the bot from playing entirely, and it will clear the queue and everything. So we can do the same checks as we did for the skip, so making sure we're in the same channel, making sure we are in a channel and stuff like that. And then again, we actually want to get the guild music manager. But this time we are first going to get the track scheduler, and I'm actually going to have this because we're going to use it multiple times. We are going to do we're going to get the queue, I'm going to clear it so there's nothing in the queue, and we are going to get player, and we're going to stop that. So this should completely clear everything, and once again that command will finish. So if we rerun our bot, if I do this, let's copy that, we do /play this, and we do run that. I'm going to add it to the queue again, So we have 2 in the queue, and I do /stop.
What?
Stop it entirely. And once again, I've forgotten to add an event reply. Obviously, you can style these as much as you like. I don't know why I reran it. I meant to stop it. Event.reply stop. Obviously, you can style these messages as much as you like. You could add embeds. You could add special styling. In the past, I've done sort of bold. If you want bold, you can go like that. It says it's bold, or anything like that. So next we're going to do our now playing command. So this is a bit more complicated, but not too much. Again, we can get the same checks, make sure we got channel and stuff like that. So what we need to do is, actually we want this as well, give music manager. So to get what's currently playing, we get our track scheduler, and we get the player. In fact, we just want to do .get player. So we have the player. So what we can do is we can get playing track .get info. Let's maybe not store the track scheduler. Let's store the info. So we can do guild music manager .get track scheduler .get player .get playing track .get info. And so this has all the info about the playing track. So we have info, we have the title, we have the URL, author, all this kind of stuff. So what I often like to do with this command is I will create this in an embed, which we covered a while ago. So maybe set the title to currently playing, and we can put this all in the description. So we can do, say, I like to do, well, we have our playing, so maybe do this in bold. So name, we have the name of the track. And this is going to be, we're going to add on the info title. And then I believe we can do append description, just so we keep it in the same line. We can do \n to add a new line, and we can do, in fact, actually, now I think about it, I would like to add maybe some backticks in here to add a bit more styling. This will put like a box around it, make it look very nice. So this bit here is going to be our author. So this is going to be the channel it's on if it's on YouTube. You can add some more styling, info.author. So say if this is like the channel it'll be on, if it's on YouTube or Vimeo or anything like that. And again, we can append to the description another new line. We can do URL, and we can add info.uri, and then you can add as much to this command as you like. We're going to do another command called queue to show the actual queue, but if you wanted, you could combine it into one and have it so that it shows it the queue here as well. But we can just event.reply embeds the embed builder.build. We need to queue that. So if we were to rerun this, we'll see that we can do the play command again, which we're going to have to copy this. So if we play that and we do /now playing, we get all the information.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So we have the name of the video. The box around it is what the backticks did. That's just styling I like to do. I forgot to put colons, but that's fine. These two, that's fine. So what you're doing, we have the name, we have the author, and we have the URL. So that is that command all done. Obviously, you can add a color, or you can add some more stuff to it, and more styles, and whatever. This is just a demonstration, but that's our now playing. So the next one we can do is our queue. So once again, we're going to be doing the same tests. So we have to be in the same voice channel and stuff like that. Obviously, you can actually, for this kind of command, you could probably remove this if you really wanted, so you could see what other people are listening to, but I don't know. But obviously, for stuff like skip, you don't want people that aren't in the voice channel to skip stuff. And also, if you want more checks, like role checks, to see if people have a certain role or permissions or something like that, you could also do that. But again, it's just a basic showing you how to do it. So for the queue, it's roughly the same as the now playing, where we have to get the guild music manager, but this time what we can do is we can get the queue. So I normally like to do, so you can't really get stuff out of the blocking queue as too well. So I like to convert it to a list, which is going to be an audio track. And so this is going to be our queue. It's equal to a new array list, and we can actually pass in the blocking queue of the queue. So we can do guild music manager get track scheduler get queue. So this is going to create an array list, or just a list of the queue. So we can loop through all of the. And now you can display this however you like. You have all of the things. You can do the same where you get the info. I'm going to put it in an embed, so I'm going to create an embed builder, and we can do set title as the current queue, and then we can do for audio track in queue. We can do we can get the info, so we can do track.getInfo as a variable. If you're wondering how I'm doing that in IntelliJ, I'm doing .var the end, and it automatically puts it in a variable. Very handy for when you blank on what the type is. So then we can do embed builder dot add. We can add a field, a new. Well, actually, this can take in. Yeah, it's going to take in the name. So name info dot. Or we can just do say if we were to loop through I equals 0, I will then q dot length, q dot size even, plus I plus 1, and this will have to be q dot get. So this will be, actually I think you could probably do it as a blocking queue if you didn't want to get the eyes and stuff, but the blocking queue doesn't have a .get method, so we do it with an array list, and here I'm just going to do I plus 1 and then info dot name dot title. So this is going to be an inline. So this is going to be. I probably want to add maybe a dot as well. Hold on. So this is going to add it all to the embed, and then we can event dot reply with reply embeds. Embed builder dot build dot queue. One thing you might want to do also is if the queue is empty, because say we've only got one thing playing, we can just do embed builder dot set description queue is empty. So this should give us information about the queue now. So once that's started up, build, there we go. If I was to do /q right now, we'll see that it's not an audio channel. If we do /play this, and then we do it again, so there's two, we can see /q.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Obviously not including the, let's not play again.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So not including the one that was playing, because that's not in the queue, that's what's currently playing. It has 1. You probably could put that in maybe the description. You could set maybe just the, what's the wrong thing? So the description up here to say now playing or whatever. But this is what's in the queue, or you could add it, whatever you want to do. Okay. But it's going to display that. Or if we only have the one thing playing and the rest of the queue is empty.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So that is all working. So the final command that we want to do is a repeat command. So we probably want to have the same checks again. In fact, now I think about it, in the now playing, if we'll probably want to do a quick check, see if build music manager get track scheduler get player get playing track dot if that is null, then we can just otherwise we'll probably get a error or something trying to get all the info, because it's null. We won't be able to do .get info, so it will throw an error. So just that as a quick thing. Repeat. So what we need to do to actually repeat is we have to do a quick edit to the track scheduler. We have to store whether it is repeating, so it is repeat, and then on track end, so you can store having it have 3 stages: no repeat, repeat track, repeat queue. I'm just going to do repeat track for now. So what we're going to do is here we can just change it. So if is repeat else, then we can just put this in the else. So if it's not repeating, just do it as normal. If it is, then instead we're going to start track of the track. So track is the track's just ended, and we have to do .make clone, otherwise it can cause problems because the track's ended. So we have to create a new one that isn't ended. And no interrupt again is false. And so now what this is going to do is if it's on repeat, which we can all automatically have as false, and have a setter, or getter and setter probably. Yeah, repeat. Oh yeah, is repeat. Is repeat and set repeat. So now if it is repeat, it will just play the track that's just playing, and if it's not, it'll do that. So the repeat command will just toggle this. So we can have our player manager gets, in fact no, we need the guild music manager again. Guild music manager or not. Let's just get that. We can change it in a minute if we need to. But then we can do, you can either decide to have it so it toggles it or it takes it in as an option, but I'm just going to have it toggle it. So guild music manager, in fact we need to get it first, so we do need to do that. I'm not thinking, so is repeat, is repeat, and we're going to set that to not that, so that we can have the new one, and we can do guild music manager track scheduler set repeat is repeat, and then we can just event apply repeat is now repeat. That's fine. Obviously you can make it so it doesn't say true and false, it will say something else, but I've just thrown this together quickly. So this should now toggle the repeat. If I redo this and I get it to join by calling the play command, I do /repeat. Hopefully repeat is now true.
What are you doing
Should
in my
complete
swamp?
repeat. There we go. It's going to start repeating.
What are you doing
toggle it
in my
off.
swamp?
And it will stop repeating. So that's all of those commands done. One thing I'd like to make a quick edit to the play command is actually making it so it can search rather than passing in a URL. This can sometimes be handy if you can't be bothered to go and get a URL, just do a search. So this is going to search YouTube and take the first the first thing that comes up. Blanked on the name. So what we can do is we can first check to see if this is a URL. So we can do that just by doing, we can have our event.getOption name.getAstring var, do this current only for now, and then we can do, so name, so what we need to do is create a new URI, which this takes in a string of the URI, and so what you'll see is this can can pass an exception. So if you surround with a try catch, your item takes exception. So the reason we're not actually putting this in a variable is we can, when we catch, we can do name equals, and so we can edit it. So this is fine, the name will stay the same because it's a URL. If not, we need to actually put something on the end of name so that when we pass it in, it treats it as not a URL but something else that Lavaplayer is actually already doing for us. So I believe we have to do name equals, well, we just do name.append. No, name equals name plus, I think it's YT search, the colon, or it might be colon afterwards. And then we can, when we search, when we try and play, we use name instead. So this will mean that if it isn't the URL, it will automatically set it as to be searching YouTube. You can change it so it searches something else. It will probably say on the Lavaplayer GitHub which place does which, so you know, like Bandcamp and Vimeo and stuff like that. But there is one thing we have to do, is this, because it will search YouTube, it's going to give us a lot of results. And obviously we only need one, so this is actually going to trigger the playlist loaded rather than the track loaded. And all we have to do here is just get the, so we have our guild music manager, and we have to get track scheduler, and we're going to queue the playlist dot get tracks dot get 0. So we get the first one in the playlist, and this should mean we can search stuff. So I know that video is the first one that comes up because I wasn't looking very hard for sight. So what are doing in swamp? Should be able to search that, and it will come on and it will play the first no. So it turns out I was being a bit of an idiot. I meant to put the YT search in front of the name, that's why it wasn't working. For some reason I was putting it afterwards. I meant to put it in front, but for some reason I didn't translate in code. But if we were just to go here, restart the bot, we do /play, we search, and it comes up with the first result in YouTube and it plays it.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So hopefully that should be everything you need with the bot. You might want to have a disconnect command, so some people who don't have the say admin can disconnect it. But that is all I'm going to be showing for this. If there's anything else you want me to cover in this series, although this should be the end now, unlike last time, which wasn't the end. But if there's anything else you wanted me to cover, I will cover it if you leave it in the comments. But I hope you got what you came for. Cheers.